Right. 17 November 2020, and I'm joined by Mr. Jaison Midzi from the Zimbabwe People's Party. How are you, sir?
I'm very good. How are you, Mr. Gambakwe?
Fantastic. And I'm very happy to have you today. After what happened last week, we had two of your directors or former directors here speaking about leaving the ZPP. We need more clarification. What is happening? Is there a split in the ZPP?
There is no split in the ZPP. The two former directors you talked to last week were dismissed from the party on 7. I can say, let me say one of the former directors, Vimbai Chiuswa, I think, was dismissed from the party on 7 November 2020 for violating the party's constitution. And in Zimbabwe People's Party, we are very serious about issues that have anything to do with our constitution. Every one of our members is aware that if they violate the constitution of ZPP, they will be dismissed by the same constitution that they will have violated. So Vimbai violated the constitution by running an illegal meeting, preparing illegal minutes, and distributing illegal minutes to party forums and non-party forums.
Okay. So who dismissed her? What process was followed? So let me rephrase. Did she go through a process of disciplining?
She didn't go through the process of disciplining because she chose to resign instead of going through the process of disciplinary. Because on her dismissal, she was told that she has 90 days to appeal. So she was given up to 8 February 2021 to appeal if she felt her dismissal was not in line with our constitution. But when she saw that it was in line, she then said no, she's resigning.
Okay, but she specifically said that the decision was unilateral and the punishment was harsh. It did not match the crime which she's accused of, and she denied that she committed any offenses. She also mentioned that you accused her of infiltration in the party. What are the exact reasons why she was dismissed? Can you go a bit deeper?
All right. The magnitude of what Nelson Chamisa did in the MDC, which has led to what the MDC is like today, where they are in the courts every day, is the magnitude of what Vimbai did in ZPP. So she felt that when she violates the constitution of a party, it doesn't have to come on a consequence because she's a director. She felt indispensable, but the constitution of ZPP sees no director, sees no founder, just sees all of us members equally. So if you violate it, the constitution says you go. If I violate it myself, I have to go, regardless of me being a founder member or a director. It's not only Vimbai who has been dismissed in ZPP. There are so many people who have been dismissed because we are serious about the kind of a party we want to see. We are also serious about the kind of a Zimbabwe we want to see. Zimbabwe is bleeding today because no one enforces any law or any rule. It's people do as they wish. people sometimes don't get dismissed from political parties because maybe they know the president, or they know, or maybe they were there when the party was formed and all that stuff. That's not a ticket to violate the constitution. The constitution of ZPP, Mr. Gambakwe, has 27 pages and is written in clear language, which even a grade 2 child can read and understand. So we became very concerned that if a director who is supposed to supervise junior members in the party violates the constitution that she was part of editing when it was still a draft, if she who edited the constitution violates it, what about all other new members? How will we enforce the constitution if a top leader is violating it? That's the problem we had. And another issue that you need to know, there are no power struggles in ZPP because Vimbai was being groomed to be the presidential candidate of ZPP for 2023. You see where I'm coming from? So there was no power struggle at all. We knew we were grooming her. But now, if we are grooming you, and we see that you are violating a 27-paged constitution, what about the 356-page constitution of Zimbabwe? Will you follow it? So you can see the magnitude of what she did and the depth that a leader should be in Zimbabwe, as a country. If you can violate a 27-page document, then what about the 356 pages of the Zimbabwe National Constitution? It will be in tatters. What about all these other surrounding documents that govern the country of Zimbabwe, like the Public Service Commission, the Police Charter, all those things? They need to be known, and any leader should abide or adhere to those documents. So the party got very concerned by what she did, because she was a director of education and policy development. How do you educate other people if you cannot adhere to the constitution? And she was being groomed to be the presidential candidate for the party. Maybe when we came to you, we said we don't have a presidential candidate yet, but we were grooming her. She knows that. So for the party to say, please go, the party is very aware that she was not going to make the grade to face people like Chamisa and Mnangagwa. Honestly speaking, ZPP felt and found it fit that this person is not going to make the grade against those people.
Okay, but I want us to go to the conclusion. There are 2 points that are still not answered. Yeah. You raised the issue of infiltration and the security threat, and she raised the issue that you did a unilateral process. Please address those 2 points. What was the security threat, and did you act unilaterally without consulting anyone?
No, there is no unilateral action. When it comes to enforcing the constitution of the party, it's always enforced by the people in the communications department and the people in the protocol department. Those are the people who enforce that the constitution of the party. Now, I don't want to go into a lot of the semantics. I want to first address the area you said. She said she was a threat to the party. Is that so? Was that your question?
Security threat, infiltration.
Security threat to the party. Now, on that issue, let me tell you, Mr. Gambakwe, where she was a security threat, like I said, she ran an illegal meeting and was told the meeting you want to run is illegal. You are breaking the constitution. Can you read the constitution and stop doing what you are doing? Point number 1. Point number 2, she became arrogant and she went on to do that meeting. And she was told, okay, you've done that meeting. Don't prepare minutes of that meeting. She prepared. Don't distribute minutes of that meeting. She distributed them. And those minutes were distributed to party forums and non-party forums. Now, where is the security threat to the party? When Chamisa jumped the building and declared himself president of MDC, that was a security threat to MDC. If people had stopped him that day, the Monzoras and everyone else, and said, look, man, stop, we are going, the constitution says MDC would be an intact party today. In the same way, if we can continue to keep somebody who rips and violates the constitution after being told, we didn't wait for her to violate, we were telling her every time, don't. She didn't listen. She just continued to do what she was doing. So that would put the life of ZPP at great risk. So the party is very strong without her. She's not the first director to be dismissed. She's the 5th director to be dismissed. So there were other directors who were dismissed before. She's not the first one. Some of whom even were founding directors of ZPP who were dismissed. And not only directors, many other members are being dismissed from ZPP because we are serious about the type of leaders we need to have. Our leaders should match people like Cyril Ramaphosa and these other leaders like Kagame and all these people who are doing very well in their countries. We don't want just to repeat the same mistakes of going with substandard leaders. ZPP is creating the standard. So when we declare you incompetent in ZPP, wherever you go, you will be incompetent. If you can't make the grade in ZPP, like Vimbai did, honestly speaking, I want to confess here, Mr. Gambakwe, follow up on her wherever she's going, whichever party she's going to join or form. The results are disastrous because the results in ZPP were disastrous. If I want to go into the department she was running and the grooming we did to her as a presidential candidate, they were all failures.
Okay, let's go now to Macylen.
Yeah.
Macylen quit in solidarity with Vimbai.
Macylen,
what do you think? It means out of 5 directors.
Macylen did not. Oh, you can finish.
No, I was saying out of 5 directors, 2 quit. They were not happy with the decision. So that means it was almost a 50-50.
They did not quit. They were dismissed on 7 November. And they appeared on your show on, if I'm not mistaken, if I say 17, on 11 November, that's when they appeared on your show saying they've resigned, but they were dismissed. Now, let me tell you about Macylen. Macylen was not dismissed the same day with Vimbai. Macylen did not violate the constitution the time Vimbai violated the constitution. But now, Macylen violated our constitution when she appeared on your show. Because when Macylen appeared on your show with Vimbai, she was still a ZPP member. She was still a ZPP director. And then she wrote a resignation letter 5 hours after finishing your show. Let me show you where Macylen expelled herself from the party. Macylen is not allowed by the constitution of ZPP to appear on a TV channel or on your channel without the approval of the Department of Communications and Publicity. So when she appeared on your channel around 1 in the afternoon, she was still a party member. Then she wrote a resignation letter at 9 p.m. I have a letter. It came to me. I'm the Director of Communications and Publicity. That's when she wrote her letter. So technically, she appeared on your show without approval from the Director of Communications and Publicity, who deals with that department. So technically, she was expelling herself from the party. So she was dismissed. She didn't, she can't say, I quit. They were dismissed. They violated the constitution of the party, which they are supposed to protect as directors, but they didn't protect it.
Okay. Do you have an internal dispute resolution process within ZPP?
We have both an internal and an external. When Vimbai was dismissed, she was told that you have 90 days to appeal. Vimbai can appeal in ZPP. There's a department which deals with that. If she feels ZPP will not treat me well, Vimbai has the courts of Zimbabwe to appeal to. We have that process in ZPP. If a member feels that maybe our party process will be impartial, we advise them to go to the national process, because we subscribe to national law, to the laws of Zimbabwe. So she can appeal anyway. And then we go into any court she wants. And then we say, this is what she did. And this is our constitution. She knows the constitution. She has it. Page 6 of our constitution. It says directors have shared responsibilities. And those shared responsibilities are written. Then we have got the responsibilities of each individual director. So she went into the responsibilities of other directors which are outside the jurisdiction and messed things in there. Don't forget that the same Vimbai started a GoFundMe in UK and raised money on behalf of ZPP. That money, we never saw it. That is the Department of Finance issues to do with the Director of Finance. The Director of Finance does not know that. The Director of Finance did not even approve for Vimbai to do that. Director of Finance does not know what happened to that GoFundMe money that Vimbai was raising. We don't even know how much. So it's not the first time that Vimbai jumps and just goes anywhere all over the show, violating the constitution and undermining the work of other directors who are busy doing their work correctly.
Okay. I think it's clear. And I want people to digest what we've said. Vimbai was dismissed, and she did not leave by her own. She did not resign.
When she came to your show, she said, we have resigned. It's a divorce. I don't know what they were talking about when Macylen technically dismissed herself from the party by what she did. Vimbai was dismissed on 7 November. I can send you the section where she was being dismissed.
Was she dismissed or was she demoted?
She was dismissed. She was dismissed. We are very critical and serious about the constitution, because we really feel if any MP from ZPP or a councillor from ZPP does not obey the ZPP 27 is the constitution, then honestly, they will not make a grade. Even this one, which you call the local government documents, and they will not be able to follow anything.
Okay, so I think that's clear. Obviously, I'm going to be having Vimbai on a weekly basis when she's got a party with Macylen when it has been set up. At the moment, they say they're still in the process. So maybe one day we'll get to talk about this issue. But I want us to move past. If you say that your party, ZPP, is still going on, I want us to move past this stage of talking about people who have left. So maybe we can resume on normal programming, because there's no need for us to keep talking. Is there say before we close?
What I want to say, Mr. Gambako, is in ZPP there is no one who has a permanent jersey. There is no one who has a permanent position. You keep your position because you are producing results or you are following our constitution and rules. So if you don't, you leave, regardless of who you are. That's why, and Vimbai would not be the first person to be dismissed by ZPP and form a party. There is someone called Mark Wapunga. Mark Wapunga was he chose to leave the party because there are issues that I don't want to discuss live here. He went on to form his own political party. It's not a problem. When people have failed to make the grade in ZPP, they are free to go and form their own. Zimbabwe is a democracy. But ZPP did not split. We are going to contest in all the 18 by-elections. All our MPs are ready. They are there. All our leaders are going. Those two ladies have been replaced by some other prolific young leaders in the party who are now directors, whom I can present on your show in the next programs if you want to see them. So we got replacements from the party's ranks. So anyone can be anybody in ZPP. There is no one who has a permanent position in ZPP. And we want all leaders to follow the ZPP rules and the ZPP constitution. Don't violate anything if you want to stay in ZPP. Produce results if you want to stay in ZPP. But Vimbai is a German citizen. She does not have a Zimbabwean passport. We told her to look for the passport since October last year. It's now almost over a year. She couldn't even get that passport because as a presidential candidate, you need to be traveling to Zimbabwe to do things, to show your face on the ground. But it's not happening. So the party felt this is not happening. We are not going anywhere with her. So we wish her very best to whatever she wants to do. She's a Zimbabwean. She has rights to do whatever she wants to do. But people are free to come and join ZPP, but we don't play. In ZPP, if you don't follow the constitution, if you don't follow the rules, we fire you. The constitution fires you directly. And it is departments which enforce it. Because Zimbabwe is bleeding with poverty. Zimbabwe needs serious leaders, not people who just come and play and steal and go.
Okay. Mr. Jaison Midzi, Communications Director in the Zimbabwe People's Party, ZPP. Thank you very much for joining me today. And everyone who's watching, if you want to talk to Mr. Midzi, his number is on the screen. You can contact him and discuss joining ZPP and also becoming a candidate. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gambakwe. Anyone who wants to join ZPP, we are recruiting leaders. And make sure you are a leader. If you are just someone who is playing, who is not a leader, because leaders are born, they are not trained. So if you are a leader, come and join ZPP. This is the team where you are monitored and your progress is supervised. Everyone is supervised in ZPP. God bless Zimbabwe. God bless all Zimbabweans. We need to unite as a nation, but we need correct leaders for our country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.